So you all know this little game called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, right? Or PUBG as it's more popularly known. It's taken the world by a storm over the past few months, selling over 10 million copies and becoming the most played game on Steam in terms of concurrent players, and there are no signs of stopping. This 100-man Battle Royale multiplayer survival shooter has become a phenomenon of a success, and few will deny that it's become genre-defining in its own right. Now, with any successful product, there are bound to be copycats following suit. For PUBG, among them is the third-person shooter tower defense survival game Fortnite, which recently added its own Battle Royale mode that bears a striking resemblance to PUBG. They both involve 100 players parachuting into a vast, self-contained island-style arena, scavenging for weapons and resources, and killing everyone else to become the last man standing while a storm cloud closes in as time passes to shrink the playable battle arena and draw players closer and closer to each other. Now, Fortnite does add a few twists to the formula, like the ability to harvest resources and build structures, which is inherent to the tower defense nature of Fortnite. But there is no denying that at its core, the game's Battle Royale mode is still straight up a ripoff. And PUBG developer Bluehole was none too happy about that, as evidenced by this recent statement that they provided. Bluehole Vice President Changhan Kim had this to say in a press release. "We've had an ongoing relationship with Epic Games throughout PUBG's development, as they are the creators of Unreal Engine 4, the engine we licensed for the game. After listening to the growing feedback from our community and reviewing the gameplay for ourselves, we are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience for which PUBG is known. We have also noticed that Epic Games references PUBG in the promotion of Fortnite to their community and in the communications with the press. This was never discussed with us, and we don't feel that it's right. The PUBG community has and continues to provide evidence of the many similarities as we contemplate further action." Then, when asked during a Reddit Ask Me Anything session about other companies replicating a Battle Royale type experience, Brendan Green, better known as PlayerUnknown, responded with, "Other companies will of course enter the marketplace, but I would just hope they put their own spin on the game mode and not just make a carbon copy." Alright, so there are two ways to look at this. On the one hand, I can sympathize with the studio to a degree. I wouldn't feel great about somebody else capitalizing on my success for their own benefit either. Keep in mind that Fortnite didn't just make any Battle Royale mode, they borrowed almost every gameplay element and mechanic from PUBG. So to an extent, I do get where they're coming from. On the other hand, copycats are sort of par for the course for any highly successful product. When Nintendo Wii and its motion controls turned out to be a huge success, Sony and Microsoft followed suit with Move and Connect respectively. When Minecraft came out, we got stuff like Terraria, Lego Worlds, and Dragon Quest Builders. And now with PUBG becoming so popular, of course you're going to get stuff like Fortnite Battle Royale mode, and many more companies are bound to follow suit. Now, one idea that I can't get behind is the notion that PUBG has ownership of the Battle Royale genre, or that any developer has any kind of ownership of any genre. Bluehole proclaimed in their press release that they are the first standalone Battle Royale survival shooter game, as if to suggest that they came up with Battle Royale or that it's their invention, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Before PUBG, there was H1Z1, and before that, there were mods of Arma games to that effect. Also, at around the same time that H1Z1 was made, other Battle Royale games like The Calling were released as well. It's also worth pointing out that in an interview with website IGN, an H1Z1 developer claimed there wouldn't be PUBG without H1Z1, and he's not wrong there. After all, Brendan PlayerUnknown Green himself was hired by Daybreak to help create H1Z1 before PlayerUnknown moved on to direct PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So much like Fortnite's Battle Royale mode, PUBG was a culmination of borrowed ideas as well, making claims like we are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience for which PUBG is known, and threats like the PUBG community has and continues to provide evidence of the many similarities as we contemplate further action, very hypocritical. Yes, one could argue that PUBG refined the Battle Royale genre, and yes, they did popularize it to a mass market level, but to claim being the first, to claim that they are the pioneers, that's going too far. They can deny it all they want, but PUBG is a culmination of borrowed ideas. And you know what? There is nothing wrong with that. Video games have always been about iterating on each other's ideas. That's how they have evolved to what they are today. Should PUBG be condemned for borrowing first-person shooting mechanics that were popularized by games like Call of Duty, which was a culmination of iterated ideas from games like Doom and Wolfenstein 3D before that, and Maze War before that? Of course not, because that's how innovation happens. It's all borrowed ideas implemented in new, unique ways. Similarly, I don't think that Fortnite's Battle Royale mode should be condemned to the degree that Bluehole is doing. Yes, let's be real, it blatantly borrows PUBG's core ideas, but it adds some interesting twists to it as well, like the ability to gather resources to build structures. One of the statements that PlayerUnknown provided was, other companies will of course enter the marketplace, but I would just hope they put their own spin on the game mode and not just make a carbon copy. Well, I would argue that Fortnite is doing just that. They do add their own spin on the game mode with various features not present in PUBG. It's sort of PUBG mixed with elements of Fortnite's gameplay. Now, if PUBG developers really are that bothered by Fortnite blatantly borrowing from their game, then the simplest solution would be to not talk about it. All they have to do is ignore the copycats so that they fade out of existence on their own. But instead, by making a press release like this, all they have done is raise further awareness for their competition. They have practically given Fortnite's Battle Royale mode free advertising. Nobody would be talking about it if Bluehole hadn't made a big deal about it. I also think that Bluehole needs to be less insecure about their product's success. They are the top dogs of the Battle Royale genre right now. While Fortnite's Battle Royale may draw some crowds and benefit from PUBG's success to a certain degree, PUBG is still the game people will gravitate towards when they want to get their Battle Royale fill. It's sort of filled a space that no other game has to this degree. Same way that Minecraft is the game that people will gravitate towards when they think about builder games. So my question to Bluehole is, why concern themselves with these other copycats when they've got the original, superior, more popular product with a far bigger community? Bluehole should be confident in their own game and acknowledge that PUBG will likely remain king of Battle Royale for a while despite others' attempts to copy it, and they don't have to do much to keep it that way. Now, if by any chance a game borrows certain ideas from PUBG or any other game, and that somehow ends up culminating in a better game, then so what? That's a beautiful thing. That's how you get innovation by competition. That's how creators push each other to outdo each other. And that's a very healthy thing for the industry and for games moving forward. So you know what? I say let the copycats copy and borrow. Let the bad ones fade into nothingness, and let the exceptional ones pave the way to something new and exciting. Kind of like what PUBG did by borrowing certain ideas. So Bluehole should hardly be the ones to talk about prosecuting those who borrow ideas, especially when PUBG itself is the product of borrowed ideas. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Thus concludes this news update and discussion video. Thank you for tuning in. I'd love to hear your take on Bluehole's press release and the idea of borrowing elements from games in the comments below. Also, if you enjoy my content, consider supporting me on Patreon for a chance to chat with me on Discord, to get your name in my videos, to play games with me, and much more. All contributions will go towards allowing us to remain 100% independent. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out!